I listen to music for various reasons, but the main one, especially as I've developed my taste over time, is to find something new. I'm constantly craving the next chorus,
Everything's going my way, not love to get my way, even when things go sideways.
sample,
Little nigga, where they do that? If we feel blue, then we move with the Mac. Count that from 2, then we move to attack. Burberry trenches.
or bar,
Dumbbells hang from the crease of my lips. Ellipsis. Hard to smile when your heart's denial eclipses. Brain matter ain't matter. Scrub your hands in circles. Makes the blood go down the drain faster.
that's gonna absolutely blow me away. My favorite projects keep me coming back because they're able to feel innovative and novel even after repeat listens. If you like any of these projects or any of these genres, I bet you have a similar hunger for something new. For that feeling when an artist makes you hear music in a way that you've never heard it before. I live for that feeling, and it's great and all, but what if I told you we could do better? What if I told you we could go beyond hearing the new, the unique, and the innovative? We could hear the impossible. It sounds far-fetched, even crazy, and I probably wouldn't have believed me either had I not stumbled on a little video. A video of someone doing this.
Of my love. Yeah, giant on my beat.
Okay, whether or not your understanding of human ability has been shattered like mine was after finding this video in 2018, let me address a thought you might be having. Was that guy beatboxing? The answer is yes. I think most people are generally aware of the term beatboxing, or at least have some concept of making musical sounds with your mouth. The phrase boots and cats, which we'll get back to, may get thrown around here and there. You might think of weird guys doing weird hand movements, or perhaps your favorite background character in your favorite fictional a cappella group. Maybe even both at the same time. Whatever your experience is, if I asked you what beatboxing was 5 minutes ago, I think there's a good chance that something like this would not have come to mind. So how is he doing that? And how did beatboxing go from this to this? A full-scale retrospective of beatboxing and its history is way out of scope for me, but what I can do is get you up to speed on the basics of beatboxing, how artists are doing the impossible, and why you should be interested. We're going to start where many beatboxers do, with boots and cats. And boots and cats 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 and boots and... You may have heard that if you want to beatbox, you just say that phrase over and over again. It's kinda close, you heard me jamming just now, but we're not quite there yet. The key to getting a real beatbox sound is to drop the vocalization entirely and just go with the percussive parts of the phrase. What you're left with are the 3 most basic beatboxing sounds. The B, also called the kick, sounds like this. The T, also called the hi-hat, sounds like this. And the K, also called the snare, sounds like this. You can make dozens of simple beats just like this, just by moving combinations of these simple alphabetical sounds around. These basics can take you insanely far. Mastering the fundamental drum kit is super important, but to take your artistry to the next level, to this level, you need to be able to multitask. Specifically, bringing in vocalization while you're beatboxing, which, in my opinion, is where things start to get interesting. At its most basic, you can try doing an easy beat with your B's, T's, and K's while humming, like this. It might take a second to get both of those operations working together in your brain, but once they do, a whole new world of possibilities opens up. As an aside, I remember one time in elementary school, years ago, way before I had any real knowledge of beatboxing, I was playing at a friend's house. We were probably doing Transformers or something like that, and I made this little beat with my mouth while humming the Super Mario Bros. Theme. I can't imagine it was any good. My B's, T's, and K's weren't nearly as honed back then, but I'll never forget my friend asking me to do it again, followed by, "How'd you do that?" In that moment, I felt special, like I did something special, and that was cool. But But we're not here to see what impresses school children, we're here to see people do impossible stuff with their mouths. The kick, hi-hat, snare, and humming really are the essentials, but the fun of beatboxing comes with seeing just how many variations of those sounds you can make with your weirdly unique body. Over time, every beatboxer will gravitate towards a particular style of performance, or at least a general repertoire of sounds that they feel comfortable with in their drum kit. For example, I personally don't use too many basic K snares when I beatbox. Instead, I usually opt for an inward K snare, which sounds like this. I love this sound because it took me a long time to get it to sound good. Here's my good side where I've practiced for years, and here's my bad side that I literally never touch. You can hear how much more control I have on the right side. I can play with the sound in so many ways, make it higher or deeper, louder or softer, move it forward or backwards in my mouth, literally whatever I want. I also love the PF snare, which sounds like this. It's a breathy and teethy combination of the B kick and the letter F. You can hear me breathing out to add weight and variety to the sound. One interesting facet of beatboxing that I won't touch on for too long, it could be its own video, but I have to mention, is breath control. For musicians playing traditional instruments like clarinet, trumpet, long trumpet, or vertical trumpet, they need to pause the music in order to breathe. They need to rest. Instead of resting, we invent techniques that allow us to breathe in while keeping the beat going. For example, I often do a breathy combo like this, filled with exhaling PF snares and inhaling inward K snares for fun, because I can theoretically play around with it indefinitely with no pauses for breath, until I get lightheaded. There are also so many ways to bring vocals into your performance other than just humming. Obviously, you can open your mouth and sing. You can also nestle your front teeth into your bottom lip to get a siren sound. Sing out of a tight hole in the side of your mouth, and you can be a trumpet. Purse your lips and puff out your cheeks, and you sound like a bird. If you can roll your R's, you can also roll your notes, bird calls, and your trumpets. Yes, you can even do this. With a technique called throat bass that I'm not gonna teach you. Not because I can't. I mean, you're basically just vibrating your throat by breathing air out kind of hard, and it's like the breathing at the start, but it makes it a little bit easier. But the point of this video isn't to teach you how to beatbox. The beatbox community is very inviting, and there are dozens of incredible people that make incredible tutorials whose toes I don't want to step on. My idea is to get you hooked, like I am, on the idea of impossibility. Every time I watch a new beatbox performance, I fully expect to hear sounds come out of people that I literally did not think we could make. And I do, all the time, and I could prove it to you, but here's my dilemma. I want nothing more than to handcuff the two of us together and discuss my favorite sounds, songs, and beatboxers until the sun explodes or we die of thirst. I have a large list, a literal Google Doc, of performances and sounds that destroyed my conception of what my body was capable of. But if I show them all to you, then there's nothing left for you to explore. Once I show you the impossible, then it becomes possible, and I think that the best part of discovering beatboxing is organically finding these crazy moments that stick with you forever. So what I'm going to do with the rest of this video, as a compromise, is go through just 3 advanced sounds with 3 associated performances, in the hopes of baiting you enough to take the hook and explore this wonderful art form on your own. Let's start by taking another look at throat bass with this incredible clip here.
I see the reflection, someone is in your eyes. You trying to make see I don't wanna see
Both this clip from before and this clip from just now come from Bigman, a South Korean beatboxer who was my introduction to the wider beatbox scene and my first favorite beatboxer. The first clip is from his entry into the Asia Beatbox Championship 2017. When I found it in summer 2018 after searching something along the lines of best beatboxer of all time in YouTube, I watched it religiously. It was honestly a probably unhealthy amount, but I was hooked, entranced, I couldn't look away. I didn't know a person could make themselves sound like he did. And despite being more knowledgeable now, I honestly still barely know. He vocalizes his throat bass so beautifully, and he switches between bass and singing so effortlessly it's insane. His great singing voice certainly helps, but the quality of his technique really allows it to shine. Here's what I sound like trying to do the same thing, even with years of practice and weird looks from my mom. Falling you. Not gonna go that high. When Confused came out in August, I finally had another song from my favorite beatboxer to obsess over. I loved the song then and I love it now. Comparing the videos side by side, you can really see his growth as an artist, even in such a short time. His throat bass is cleaner, he's faster, he has more varied vocal elements with lip oscillations and sirens. His percussive elements are punchier. I mean, just listen to the whistle on those PF snares. You can tell he's more confident, and he should be, because what he's doing is something amazing. Bigman and his throat bass opened my eyes to beatboxing as a method of creating layered and enjoyable music that's fun to listen to, and I haven't looked back since. Despite my love for Bigman and hours of practice, I don't think my throat bass will ever be as clean as his. That said, there are sounds that I've trained hard to learn and can do now successfully. We talked previously about my inward K. I love that sound, and it was difficult to perfect, but arguably the hardest sound in my repertoire, and definitely my favorite, is the lip roll. This sound is made by sucking air through a small gap in your lips, making them vibrate. It may sound silly to say that I trained to do a sound, but it's true. It took me easily 6 months of practice to get this sound and its various variations anywhere close to something I was happy with. But now I can do a normal lip roll, a deep and bassy lip roll, an even bassier lip roll, a vocalized lip roll, and various fun things in between with ease. It's just so fun to use, and the ridiculous bass of the heavier versions, especially on a microphone, goes crazy. I was first introduced to this monster of a technique by none other than the man himself, the American beatbox legend, the Grand Beatbox Battle champion, the Monkey King, the lip roll master, NaPoM.
You can't roll like this, like.
That was a clip of NaPoM performing his signature song and boss battle music, You Can't Roll Like This. If we take a moment to all pause and reflect on the title, we'll see that it's true. The number of sounds NaPoM is able to pull from his lip roll variations is almost as staggering as the speed at which he can perform them. I highly encourage you to not only check out this performance of the track on YouTube, but also to check out compilations of NaPoM performing it throughout the years in battles. Yes, beatbox battles are real, yes, they're incredible, no, I don't have time to talk about them, and yes, I wish I did. If you do, you'll really be able to see the evolution of his rolling technique. He was always rolling better than everyone else, and that was never up for discussion, but he's improved so much and come so far in the short time since the mid-2010s. There are always more techniques to explore, more ways to explore existing techniques, and crispier and juicier sounds to acquire.
You can roll like this, like. Get high.
Bigman's performances got me into beatboxing, and NaPoM's performances showed me how incredibly difficult and rewarding it can be as an art form. When I think about performances that shattered my brain, sent me into the next dimension, and opened my third eye, I do think of NaPoM and Bigman. But there's one performance, one video, one moment in time that I don't think I'll ever get out of my head. That video is a performance by Shogo, the Japanese beatboxer, master of the forest, and drip lord, specifically his Grand Beatbox Battle wildcard from 2018. I'm going to break from format here and explicitly give you the chance to watch the video before I talk about it. If my suspicions are correct, and I've done a good enough job throughout this video, you'll hit that second drop, hear a sound you've never heard before, and absolutely lose your mind about how cool it was. We're entering beatboxing spoiler territory, okay? So get out right now and watch it if you want to. Please come back, though. Okay, here it goes. It's incredible, right? I mean, first of all, the entire track is fire. It flows well and the composition is excellent. I love the stark contrast between high-pitched vocals and a legitimately frightening inward bass. Shogo's incredible technique allows him to bounce between those two extremes effectively throughout the song. The star of the show, however, is of course his double voice sound. If you missed it, didn't listen to the song, or just want to hear it again because you're normal, here it is. It's like a voice crack that he somehow managed to tame and make musical. When I heard that sound for the first time, I was taken aback because I'd never heard it before, which was becoming a far more regular occurrence as I watched more beatboxing videos, but I also had some eye-opening realizations. 1. Other people, other beatboxers were also hearing this sound for the first time. 2. These beatboxers were going to try to replicate it and incorporate it into their routines. And 3. That sound will forever be associated with Shogo in my head for the rest of time. This random guy in a closet with a bowl cut and a staggeringly deep voice just changed the face of beatboxing as I knew it permanently. I don't know if Shogo is the first person alive to make this sound. Realistically, he probably isn't. There's been at least like 10,000 people. But he was the first one to show the world, or at least the world of beatboxing, that this sound with so much musical possibility and potential exists. He's far from the only one to do this too. There are dozens of beatboxers with signature sounds that they specifically learned how to make and introduced to the community. That right there is the ethos of why I love beatboxing. Every single person, even you, has the impossible within them, has a unique instrument literally just sitting there at the tip of your tongue. The only person that knows what incredible sounds you have ready to come out and make music is you. You can do the impossible, and I want to hear it. If you want some inspiration, need a little bit more convincing, or just want to see more incredible artists do impossible things, you need to check out the Swissbeatbox YouTube channel. Swissbeatbox is, from my point of view, the lifeblood of the beatboxing community, especially on YouTube. All of my favorite performances are either hosted on their channel or put out by artists that they helped me find. If anything I said, or especially anything you heard in this video interested or resonated with you at all, you need to do yourself a favor and explore their incredible selection of talented performers doing what they love. Go to their channel and just find a video. Find a video of someone you think looks cool or is from your country, or just a video with millions of views, and watch it. Take it in and be amazed. If you absolutely must have my recommendations as a place to start, I'll drop some of my favorite artists and videos at the end of this one. There are so many things I can't wait for you to see. I didn't even get to discuss battles, looping, tag teams, group work, anatomy, and how that plays into the sounds you can make, beatboxing and covers, the history of the GBB, and a bunch of other incredible facets of the art form and the community. Beatboxing has been a constant source of joy, musical connection, and expression in my life for years now. And I really can't thank the community and everyone else involved enough for opening my eyes to just how much one person as a performer is capable of. Beatboxing is musical, groundbreaking, and sometimes seemingly impossible, yet always incredibly, humbly human. I hope I've convinced you to get out there and see what wild and wacky sounds you can create, and I hope that someday I get to hear them. And with that, we're at the end of the video. If you somehow made it all the way here, thank you so much for watching. I've always wanted to say that. I've always wanted to make kind of video essay-esque content like this. And I've also always wanted to talk about beatboxing. I think it's been one of my favorite art forms since I found it, and I think it's grown every single year. It gets better and better every year, and not enough people are there to appreciate it and contribute to it. I can't tell if this video is good at all. I can't tell if it'll be good if you don't like beatboxing, or if you haven't seen it, or if you're super versed in the community. All I know is that it's out, and so at this point I'm very okay with that. As for recommendations, I think the number one thing is I didn't even realize that the Grand Beatbox Battle, which is just like the biggest international beatbox competition, was happening as I was making this video. So depending on when I get this out, it's either just finished or is finishing. So you should check out all of the wildcard entries into the competition. Check out the compilations of the winners for those entries on Swissbeatbox. All of those sets are going to be amazing. And then check out the edited videos of the competitions at the Grand Beatbox Battle that are going to be coming out in the couple weeks to come on Swissbeatbox. I cannot wait for all of that. I've caught some of the live streams and it's been incredible. For individual artists, I'm definitely biased. I tried to remain kind of impartial in the video, but I definitely have a more musicality kind of focus when I'm listening to people. So Bigman, Gene, who's my absolute favorite beatboxer of all time, Den, who's getting pretty close, Shogo, Codfish, D-Lo, I'm spacing on a bunch probably. All of them are great. If you want more technical stuff, NaPoM, Inertia, Collapse, all good. Slizzer, Zero. There's a bajillion people. If you want songs, I don't know. Gene, what is it called? See You There. Gene, See You There changed me as a person. Den, his Sensations for the BBU battle. You should also watch that battle. All those videos are great, but Den Sensations is a banger. Everything Shogo's ever put out is incredible. Check out Otanashi. And yeah, that's it from me, I think. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the beatbox, and I hope you keep doing more. I don't know what I'm going to talk about more on this channel, if I talk about anything else, but if you want maybe more beatbox content, or you want to hear about my ongoing feud with Matt Damon or some other cool stuff, let me know. But this video was supposed to be 5 to 10 minutes long in the original script, and we're about to hit 20 if we haven't hit that already, so it's time for me to go. All right, Birdhouse out. Thank you.